Too long, didn't read. Spanish. Let's talk about parts of speech. We're going to start with nouns. Nouns are people, places, things. So take a look, and I want you to pause and underline everything that you think is a noun. So let's take a look at some of those nouns. Wow, my crazy uncle person raced a shark thing around the pool thing, but it suddenly ate him. So what we've underlined are our nouns. Now let's take a look at verbs. I want you to pause and circle all the verbs that you see. So verbs are actions, and they're going to be things that subjects of our sentence do. A noun can be a subject if it's what does the verb. So let's start just by looking at our nouns and seeing what they do. Wow, my crazy uncle raced. So that's an action. So I'm going to circle that because it's a verb. A shark. Now, is the shark doing anything? It's also racing, but our sentence doesn't say the shark raced. So this isn't a subject. Around the pool. Does the pool do anything? No, it's just there. But it suddenly ate him. So it is it. Refers to that shark. And it's not a noun. We're going to look at that in a little bit later. But it is the subject of the sentence. So ate is an action. So pause again, and I want you to identify all the adjectives that you see. Adjectives are words that modify a noun. So it's going to tell us more about a person, a place, or a thing. So if it's something that is going to modify a noun, let's just start by looking at our nouns and see if there are any words around them that better describe them. Uncle. Well, what do I know about my uncle? I know that he's crazy. So crazy is going to be an adjective because it tells us more about my uncle. So I'm going to underline that with dotted lines. There's also another word, my. So the uncle is crazy, but it's also my uncle. So that's an adjective as well. This adjective is called a possessive adjective because it shows that the uncle belongs to you. He's your possession, if you want to think of it that way. Next, shark. Do we know anything about the shark? No. Pool. Do we know anything about the pool? No. Next, pause and see if you can find all the pronouns in the sentence. Pronoun is a word that takes the place of the noun, but it's a little bit more general. So instead of saying my dad, I can say he. The trick to try and find a pronoun is to say, if I put somebody's name in, would the sentence make sense? But it suddenly ate him. So what if I put in David instead of it? But David suddenly ate him. That would work. So that means that it's a pronoun, a word that takes the place of a noun. In particular, it is a subject pronoun because it's the subject of the sentence. So who is doing the eating? It is doing the eating. Another word we can replace is him. If I said David, but it suddenly ate David, that would work. So him is a pronoun as well, but it's not a subject pronoun because him isn't doing an action. But he is being eaten. Something that is verbed or is affected by the verb means that it's a direct object pronoun. Stop again, and I want you to try and find the adverb in this sentence. There's only one. An adverb is something that modifies a verb. So in order to find an adverb, I'm going to look at my verbs, which are blue. Raced. Do I know how he raced? No. Ate. Do I know how the subject ate? I do. It ate suddenly. Suddenly modifies ate. Pause and take a look for the preposition in the sentence. A preposition is a word that tells you where something is in relation to something else. So common prepositions are under, over, across from, around. These all describe something's relationship to something else. Here's a trick for prepositions. Let's say you have a chair. Imagine all the different places where you can be in relationship to that chair. Under, over, around, beside. These are all prepositions. So to find prepositions, let's look for are nouns again. Crazy uncle raced a shark around. So this tells us where my uncle and the shark are. They're going around the pool. So that could mean either that they're swimming in a circle around the pool, or maybe they're running in a circle around the pool. We don't know. Based on the context, you'd probably say swim. So around is a preposition. Try and find the conjunction. Conjunctions are words that join things together. You know what a junction is. It's something that is between two different things. So let's see if there's a word that's used to join two different phrases. But is the conjunction. Because if I take it out, I have a sentence here. Wow, my crazy uncle raced a shark around the pool. Punto. And if I look down here, it suddenly ate him. That's also a sentence as well. So this is a conjunction that's used to join two different phrases together. There are two articles. Find them. An article, it's used to introduce a noun. Specifically the gender of the noun and how many of the noun you have. So in our sentence, we have two of them. I'm going to look for my nouns. Nothing introduces it. Raced a shark. So is an article. Pool, the pool. The is an article. One of these is a definite article and one is an indefinite article. I like to think of a definite article as meaning you know that you're only talking about one thing. You're definitely talking about that thing. Here we're talking about the pool. There's only one pool that we can be referring to. So that makes this a definite article. With shark, however, we just say a shark. So that could mean maybe there are more sharks in the pool. We don't know. He just raised one of them. So that's an indefinite article. There's only one of them, and there's only one option. Find the interjection. That's right. Wow is the interjection. That's right. Wow is the interjection. Interjection is something that interrupts a statement. You might have heard somebody say, may I interject, talking really formally. That means that they're interrupting other people. I want to put an indirect object in here. An indirect object is to whom or for whom something is verb. So one thing we could do would say that the shark suddenly ate him, but that this action was done for somebody else. So I'm going to take out my exclamation point and just say it suddenly ate him for Veronica. Veronica in this case would be an indirect object. So who was the person eaten for? It was eaten for Veronica. There's another direct object in our sentence. What was raced? The shark was raced. So in this case, it's not a pronoun, it's not it, but it's still what is verb. So that's a direct object, and it's a noun.